Welcome back to our series on making this super fun mug cozy. We are ready now to apply the binding, which finishes off the end of our cozy. So that is our strip here. I cut mine 1.5 inches wide by about 5 inches long. The length is not critical as long as it's long enough, because we're going to be attaching it and then trimming it to size. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that my ends are nicely aligned. They're not all curled under, and I'm going to be sewing my binding strip roughly in the middle, aligning the raw edges. First step is securing it here, raw edges together. I'm going to be using a relatively narrow seam allowance, a little bit narrower than 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter. I'm going to use a couple of pins to pin this in place. Again, just making sure with this shearing, this is going to want to sort of roll under, so I want to make sure that those ends are not rolled under. Now I'm just going to stitch along here with a narrow seam allowance. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to trim the ends. You want about a centimeter left over on the ends. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be wrapping this up and over here, turning this raw edge under, and then folding it over here to meet. So I'm going to take this to the ironing board. Okay, so let me show you how to press this binding in place, getting it ready to sew. First thing I'm going to do is lightly press. Remember, you're using a hot iron here and your shearing elastic could melt. So I am being very quick about this. On this side, I'm going to fold my ends in first and give them a little press. Now what I'll do is I'm going to fold about 1/4 of an inch, not all the way. That won't leave you enough. If you want to make sure you have enough, what we're trying to do here is get this folded edge just past our stitch line where we attached the binding. So you can sort of fold it up and make sure that's going to fit before you press it. So again, we're going to make sure that our end is very neat and tidy, and we want the folded edge to be past our stitch line from the front. Okay, now we're going to be pinning this. Now you can see my folded edge is past my stitching line, which is exactly what we want. And I'm very neat and tidy at the ends, all looking good.